Hey, what's up, folks? It's me, Dr. Mike for Renaissance Periodization, and welcome to video number three in our series about how to design your own muscle growth program. This one is about how to warm up and select proper loads, aka weight, for your muscle growth journey to begin. I am making these videos because I want to show you how to build a program to make you jacked, but also I train exclusively using the RP Hypertrophy training app, which I also designed, at least helped. I helped it. And I did design the whole thing, and the engineers executed and added a bunch of their own cool features. So you don't have to use the app. It's cool, and there's a link in the description, so you can pay money for it if you'd like. If you're seeing this video before mid-May 2023, then you can sign up for the promotional list, and then you get a super big discount on the app and tons of free goodies. If you're seeing this video after, same link will take you to the buy screen, and you can just purchase the app and play around with it and use it to design your programs. It's really neat. I think it works really well. I'm using it for all my training now and will seemingly in perpetuity. You don't have to get the app, but it's cool. So link in the description if you want to get that. We're going to use the app to illustrate these concepts, but mostly this video is about learning. All right, how to warm up and choose loads. This conversation of how to warm up and how to choose loads for your exercise is the best had at the same time, which is why we're having it at the same time, because the warm-up process is how you get to choosing the right loads. And there's a process here that's, roughly 6 steps in length. That sounds like a lot. Don't worry, these are all really simple steps. So here we go. First is the optional general warm-up. This is when you go like jog on the treadmill for 5 minutes or 10 minutes or do jumping jacks. It's insanely overrated. It's cool if you want to do it. It makes you feel a lot better to do it. Fuck, do it. You have my blessing, and it's good for you, and it's not bad. But what I generally do is I do some like arm circles, some trunk twists, and some sort of like stiff-legged deadlift things with my body, and then like maybe a couple body weight squats, and I'm good to go. So I never really do a big general warm-up, and I think that especially as you get bigger and stronger, just warming up for the specific warm-up with the exercise itself that you're going to be doing first takes care of most of that. So you can do it, you can not do it, not a big deal. The next thing you do is you take whatever machine or barbell, dumbbell, whatever you're doing, whatever exercise you're doing, and choose a super light load or even zero load. Like if you're doing, well, for many people, just if you're doing lateral raises, just using your hands. I do that every now and again, just warm up with my hands, body weight squats, etc. So it's either low load or zero load, and you want to do 12 reps with it. But the load you pick is not your 12 rep max, good God. You're picking something that's like, you can do 30 reps of it or more, no problem. It really is just to get the technique of the movement, which means your technique needs to be good. Here's the important part. If you're doing, chest presses, don't just be like, done. Full range of motion, slow and controlled. It looks silly when you're doing it with the fucking bar that's unloaded, but you remember you are warming up the tissues, which also means you have to take them through the full range of motion. And also you're priming the nervous system, which means the full range of motion. And because you're priming the nervous system, you're also starting to really remind your muscles or remind your body of what that technique feels like and moves like. So your technique should be spotless from rep 1 of your warm-up all the way down to last rep of the last set of that exercise, and then you move on to the next exercise. Always good technique. No rushing. Yes, it's weird to slowly control eccentric just the bar and then press it back up. Slow and control. Someone's looking at you training like, there's no weight on that, right? Like, get out of here. Yes, I know that. I'm practicing to be great. Olympic weightlifters, which are better people than all of us, if you watch them squat or snatch or clean and jerk the empty bar, it looks exactly like when they have fucking 200 kilos on it. So it's a big deal to do everything right. That's step 2. 12 reps at your 30 rep plus. Next set is almost identical, except you add some weight so that it's something you can do for like 20-ish reps, no problem, but you only do 8 reps with it. A little heavier, fewer reps. Now you're getting warm. Things are starting to groove. It could be a pretty big shock You put on your 20 RM from doing your 40 RM before, and you can be like, holy shit, this is the first weight you lift in the gym that's generally like, God damn, I feel this shit. This is when you start to get a feel for how heavy the shit really is. And you can start to estimate how many gun to the head reps you have. Like if you had to do as many reps as you could, you start to get a feel like, is this really more like 15 reps? Or is this really more like 25 rep max for me? Always stop at 8 though, just 8. Set of 12, set of 8. You'll never be able to predict what the next set is going to go. Rest until you feel good again, no rushing. You rest between 12 and 8, 8 and 4, and so on and so forth. People sometimes warm up like they have like somewhere to be really soon. Like, oh, I have to go to the gala after this and I'm just going to warm up and put weights on and warm up. I've actually seen people warm up. They do the bar, they rack, they put weights on and no stopping. They just go right in and just do that, more weight, do that, more weight, and then you're working weight. It's like, if you're just trying to get the fuck out of the gym, just don't show up. That's how you're going to get hurt. That's how your technique is going to slip up. It's all bad news. After you warm up, rest a little bit until you feel like, I'm fucking ready to go. I'm not breathing heavy. I'm not tired. None of that stuff. Next, take your best guess at what you think your working weight should be. What rep range should your working weight be in? That's up to you. You can do sets of 5 to 10, sets of 10 to 20, or sets of 20 to 30. Anything between 5 and 30 reps in a set close to failure is absolutely effective for muscle growth. You want to basically take that weight that you think is going to get you in that rep range, but only do 4 repetitions with it. What that does is it really finishes the warm-up process and prepares your nervous system for a very similar load. Like if you're squatting 315 for reps, let's say, if you do 135 for 12, 225 for 8, you don't want to just go do 315 for a set of 12 or 15 or whatever you're going to do. Because like that jump between 225 and 315 is fucking massive. And you're going to be like, oh my fucking God. And then all the reps are going to feel like shit until like the last 3, when they don't feel like shit anymore because your body can finally groove, but now you're tired. So it still feel like shit. What you want to do is a set of 4 reps with something like 315. It could be 300, it could be 315, it could be 330. No wrong answers there. Just in that vicinity, you do 4 reps with it and you do 2 things. 1, you finish the set and you're like, okay, great. Like now my muscles and joints and nervous system are really ready to do another set. But 2, and very importantly, you're in a position now where you're like, did I pick the right working weight? Because you could do a set of 4 and be like, bro, I can barely get fucking 6 of this shit for sure. I'm going to drop 25 pounds off and do that for my first set, my actual working set. Or you could be like, yeah, I can do a trillion of these. I definitely need to go up again and do another set of 4, or go up again and do a working set, but I know it's got to be a lot more weight. Or you're like, yeah, that 4 was like tough just because it's new, but I know I'm going to be able to hit like something like 8 reps and I want a set of 5 to 10. So that's money. Again, rest until you feel ready, no rushing. And then point number 5, you do your first working set with a load that's close to the last warm-up weight that you did a set of 4 with, a bit lighter, a bit heavier based on how that set felt. You stop at 3 reps in reserve with good technique, and you enter in the reps. So all this warm-up stuff is really just on the fly. So if we go over here to the RP Hypertrophy app, let's say it's camber bar bench press, we did all of our warm-ups already, and our set of 4, our last warm-up, let's say we did with the camber bars ruthless, so 135 pounds. We scroll through, we pick 135, and it gives us a rep range that says 2 RIR. In the RP Hypertrophy app, the first week of training has you going to 2 reps in reserve. Traditionally, we've said 3 or 4. If you're an advanced trainee, it should be 3 or 4, not 2. But a lot of people have a bit of trouble pushing themselves, so we're trying to keep it simple and just hit 2 RIR. When you do this set, you can always click. You say you did 11 reps, click on 11, and it says log your set, press the check-in button. We're going to do those. It's going to feel great. Once we click on there, it's going to ask us all kinds of questions that we'll get to in another video, so I'm not going to click that yet. But let's say 135 for the second set, you rest, we get a set of 8, and then voila, we would click that and that. Might even click them in just a sec. But first, stop at 2 or 3 reps in reserve, whatever it is, with good technique, write down your reps, and continue on after. Now, after any given working set, if you think you got the weight wrong, absolutely change the weight. And in this case, you'd have a situation. Let's show some more functionality here. I remove set, just go back and pretend it never happened. Let's say you hit 135 for 11, and you're like, man, I really want to kind of set to 8 here, not 11. It's a little too light. I want to go heavier. So what you do is you hit duplicate exercise, and why not repeat it till the end of the mesocycle? I would generally click this if you want to continue this program. I'm going to hit duplicate, and now we have bench press with a cambered bar and a new weight to do it. So set 2, we'll say, yeah, 135 was too easy. It turns out I am Hercules, and I'm going to go to 150, and then you actually hit your desired 8 reps, and voila, it's much better for you in retrospect. And then later in future weeks, it'll remind you like, hey, like here's all your loads, and you're going to see, oh, this is 135, this is 150. You know what? This next week, I'm going to change to 155 and then change this and so on and so forth. So you can always make weight modifications, but I will say this, the exact reps that you're hitting just don't fucking matter in any given week. Week to week, they matter for progression. If you hit 9 last week, it should be 10 this week. Or if you did 105 pounds for 9 last week, you want 110 pounds this week for 9. But in a first week, just stick to the rep range that you're in. So if you're in the 10 to 15 rep range, that's what you want to hit. That's the best stimulus to fatigue ratio for you. If you hit 14 reps or if you hit 11 reps, it just doesn't fucking matter. So can you use the duplicate exercise feature for down sets and drop sets? Yes, we'll talk about that in another video. But do you have to just get really finicky on changing the weights? Not really. And I would just say, just hit the rep range and everything takes care of itself after. This is the alpha build. Once we get into the beta build and some way of the way through that, we will be adding in places for videos about reminders of how to warm up, reminders of how to select load, and a bunch of other goodies. So, link in the description. If this is before mid-May 2023, sign up for the promo that gets you the app early and at a discounted rate and with extra goodies. And if you're watching this video after mid-May 2023, then voila, the buy link is in the bio. Folks, remember, Lamborghinis, despite my multiple attempts to lobby the United States Congress, are not given out for free to people unless I must pay for them. Thus, you must download the RP Hypertrophy app. See you guys next time. Next week, we will cover, wait for it, what are we talking about next week? We're talking about, how to estimate RIRs per set and get the reps that you want. Because picking a load is one thing, but how do we know we're actually training as close to failure as we intend to? We'll talk about that next time, and I'll see you then.